Not a very large agency as most people probably think we are. At our capacity, we're 45 staff members to serve between 1,600 to 1,700 licenses in the District of Columbia. Now, ABRA is a regulatory body that regulates the service, distribution, consumption of alcoholic beverages in the District of Columbia. We also ensure compliance with the ABC laws and regulations, and we also deal with taking appropriate action when they're in violation or out of compliance. We are under the authority of the ABC board, which at this time has 5 members. We have 2 members that are pending, and our full capacity as a board is 7 members. And they are from various parts of the city, different wards. The divisions we're broken up into 3 divisions. It's licensing, enforcement, and adjudication. The licensing division takes in all applications for anyone that wants to sell alcoholic beverages in their business. They ensure that they meet the standards for licensing, and they recommend applications to the board for approval. The board approves every single license as well as permits. When I say permits, saying if you want a manager's license or you want a solicitor's permit or import permit, the board approves all of those. Our enforcement division, at their full capacity, is probably about 18 investigators, and they ensure that businesses are in compliance with Title 23 and Title 25 of the DC Official Code, which is a combination of our regulations as well as other regulations throughout the District of Columbia under Title 23, I think it is. They conduct regulatory inspections 4 times out the year, and during those inspections, they check to see whether businesses are in compliance with the laws and the regulations. There's no specific time that they conduct the inspections, but you could say it's most likely quarterly. We do other special inspections. You may hear us roll out a press release saying that we are going to do voluntary agreement enforcement month. That means that we will go to all businesses that have a voluntary agreement, and I'll explain that a little bit later, and see if it's on the premises. They also write citations for businesses that are out of compliance or in violation of the laws. The adjudication division, who I'm under at this particular time, acts on behalf of the ABC board, and they carry out all of the board imposed orders, actions, fines, penalties, and they assist licensees into coming into compliance. Premise licenses, these are all of your retail stores, meaning your A stores are the ones that sell beer, wine, and spirits. The other class is Class B stores that just sell beer and wine. And most of the Class Bs are things like, they may be large grocery stores, mom and pop stores, or little small stores that you see in various neighborhoods. We offer off-premise license for manufacturers as well as wholesalers. Now, there is a cap on Class A licenses, and the cap is at $250. But currently, there are some licenses that are still available. The new legislation that just occurred this year allows A and B stores to be open until midnight, through Saturday for A stores, and through Sunday for B stores, because the A stores are not open on Sundays. And once again, this is talking about the Class B stores, and we offer the same kind of licenses to wholesalers, manufacturers as well. But they have a cap at 300. And once again, if there are some B store licenses that are available, and so once again, you can come to us and ask rather than deal with someone outside of our agency. For on-premises, we have several classes, but most of them fall under Class C or Class D. And as you see on the screen, the Class C is beer, wine, and spirits, and Class D are beer and wine. This is where a lot of the numbers fall. within these categories: hotels, nightclubs, restaurants, taverns, and multi-purpose facilities. Now, the new legislation for the C and Ds allows them to begin opening at 8 a.m. on Sundays. And a lot of this is because of, trying to generate more revenue for the District of Columbia, and that's really kind of what's it based on, and more taxes for the city. The caveat is that if you have a voluntary agreement, you have to review your voluntary agreement to see whether or not that allows you to be able to open those additional hours. And a voluntary agreement is something that's entered into between the community and a business owner. Or a caterer's license, which can be this is for any organization that prepares food and serves food, and when we talk about food, we're talking about food, not snacks, not chips, not pretzels or any of that kind of stuff. We're talking about prepared food. And on-premise licensees that hold a C or D license can also have a caterer's license as well. So what we ask you to do is do your homework. And when we say do your homework, you can visit our website, or you can contact our office, or you can contact me, and we can tell you the things that you need. But most of the applications have instructions, and so it'll tell you that you'll need to make sure that the business is located in a zone where you can put a business there. Throughout the District of Columbia, we have various moratoriums that have been put into place of either the A&C Commission or community groups, or they're just saying that there's just so much of one type of business, and so they want to restrict the number of businesses that are in their community. For instance, Adams Morgan, which everybody's familiar with, has a huge number of taverns, and they put a cap on those number of taverns so that they could kind of control that environment. They do the measurements. You want to do appropriate measurements because there are some restrictions when you want to open a business near a school, a library, or a recreation center. It used to be that people also included churches in there. Churches are no longer included in our law. You want to make sure you do visit the corporate division of DCRA. And if it's new construction, you want to make sure that you have all the permits. We also actually for a criminal background check. So the application process is a licensing specialist will accept your application and assess the fees or whatever it is, whatever category that you're trying to get your license in. The application approval is for a 45-day period, provided there are no things that will keep you from moving forward. It's a new application. These are the things that you would need to provide with your application. But there's zoning certificate of good standing, and a financial affidavit. If it's a transfer with no substantial change, you just need to apply for a transfer consent form. Only for a new application, there's a placard period. And the placard period is, you've probably seen them around town, big red signs, and they have these dates on them. Well, those dates are dealing with the 45 days. If there's this one line that says petition, if that petition date, someone sends in comment about protesting your business and not wanting that business in their community or for whatever reason, then your 45 days moves up anywhere from 60 to 90 days. Application approval, this is if you've been approved. You will need to provide a landlord affidavit. That means your application is approved. You need a landlord affidavit, your menu if you're a restaurant, exterior pictures, interior, police clearances, and diagrams of photographs if you're going to have a summer garden or a sidewalk cafe. And then once again, you need the same things here: certificate of occupancy, settlement statement, clean hands, and you'll receive a final inspection from our enforcement division. This is up for renewal every 3 years. Right now, Class B licenses are up for renewal in 2012, and March of 2012. Class A licenses will be up for renewal, and then we start the process all over again with C's and D's.